Hi, I'm Elaine Harding. Welcome to week 10 of 12 in my Christmas countdown series. I'm still staying with gift packaging. This is Pretty Pillowbox dies, and they'll make these gorgeous pillow boxes. It's just a die set only. It doesn't have a coordinating stamp set. You'll find it on pages 8 to 10 of the July to December 2021 mini. When the mini first launched, I posted a alternative project way back in August, so I'll put a link to that below this video in the show more section. And I promised to revisit it using the Christmas themed ones. So to start off with, I've made some with a belly band and I used different dies in the set. Apart from the basic one here, there is a die like this that will cut out this detail here. Then there's this die which will cut out an aperture, the lid, and then you need to cut out an extra piece to layer underneath it so that the contrasting colour cardstock will show through the pattern here on the top. To cut the aperture at the top here, I used another set of dies called the seasonal label dies. These two dies here cuts out a pair of slots, but I found that the slots were really too big, so I had to attach the ribbon like so, sort of at an angle. I think I prefer this one. This one I cut by hand. I just used a craft knife, measured the width of the ribbon and just cut accordingly and threaded it through. Then this layer here, the extra layer, covers up the ribbon, and I attached it with glue dots, not glue dots, Velcro dots. And this one uses the flower dies. These two uses this die here which cuts out two holes, and you can thread a ribbon through. I've glued this top down so you can't open it from here, but then you can open it from the side instead. I've punched a finger hole on the bottom piece so it's easier to get out, and then closed it that way. Without the extra layer of cardstock underneath the lid, this is very flimsy, so I did cut an extra layer, which is just this part of the die, to strengthen the box. This one I used the Adorning Designs decorative masks to create a embossed snowflake layer, and did the same with the side opening as well. And if you use craft cardstock, it makes the box much sturdier. Those are just some ideas. I won't be doing all of them, otherwise it will take too much time. I'll choose one. Which would you like to see? This one or this one? The flat bottom one. I'll show you how to do that one. I'm going to use the decorative masks. Last time I think I showed you this pattern. There's this one, a striped one, the snowflake one, and I think we'll use the snowflake one. Now this craft cardstock is part of the gingerbread and peppermint sweet, and you'll find that one side is rough and the other side is smoother. So we're going to be using the smooth side. We have that on top. These are 6 by 6 inches. So I'm going to put that on top. I'm not going to bother securing it with washi tape because I want to cover the whole of this pattern. You'll need the shimmery paste, and I keep this part on and only just prise open little bit of it, of the foil covering, and I've marked it with a red arrow so I know that's where to open it, and that's in order to keep the paste, once you open it, as moist as possible. So I'm going to use this one and grab some paste. Only need a little bit, and seal that up again to keep it airtight. And then I'm just going to spread it. So in fact, the thicker you have the paste, the longer it will take to dry. So I'm just only going to be using a thin layer, and this palette knife, because it's long and thin, it will spread it quite well. Now I'm not worried about this little bit that's missing, because it only takes up about 5 inches of the cardstock, so I'm just going to peel that off and then go and wash this immediately, because if it's left to harden it will be very difficult to remove. You want to set that aside so that it will dry completely hard. Depending on how thick you put the layers on, it will depend on the drying time. It's already dried, and that was about 5 minutes ago. In the time it took me to wash the mask down and clean it. So now we want to make our sandwich. So the base plate, the platform 1, platform 2, the thin die adapter, platform 3, and then you put your cardstock in, and I'm going to place it on the side here, on the edge, like so. Top cutting plate, another platform 3, and I'm ready to run it through the machine. At the same time, I'm going to take a piece of cherry cobbler cardstock and cut an extra lid using this part of the die to make a contrasting layer. So those are my die cut pieces. I'm just going to cut this along the score line here. Now you see the score lines are more visible on this side than it is this side. So I'm going to reinforce the score lines on this side first. And if you put your nail in there and score, then you can score in the other direction afterwards. And there's the line. At the same time you do that as well. So reinforce on one side, then you can turn it the other side, which is the right way, and reinforce it from the other side. Now to create the flat bottom, you butt it up to a scoring board, and on that score line you score 1/4 inch on either side of that score line. Okay, so 1/4 inch. Reinforce the score lines, and then you want to cut up to the score line on the curve, okay? Right. Then turn that up, and that can be your tab, and reinforce that. Like so. Then you want to put glue dots on these flaps. Before you glue that, you need to make a slot here. Take your ribbon and put it in the middle, so then you can find where the middle is. I'm going to mark it with a pencil either side here. I'm just going to pierce a hole here, put my scissors through, and then just cut a slot. cut off about 6 inches of ribbon and then thread these through. Put tear and tape on to secure the ends of the ribbon. Put adhesive on here. Remove the backing tape from the bottom, then pop this on. Make sure the front's facing the right way, like so. Now you can glue your sides together and have it flat on the work surface, so you can make sure that the box is standing up properly. Then pop another glue dot on this side. I'll use glue as well. Then to secure the box, you need a Velcro dot. These are 10mm ones, and there's the hook and then the other soft part. So you pop those together, then peel one side off. I don't know which goes where. Pop that in the middle there and press that down to make it secure as well. Then you can pop a couple of chocolates in there. These ones are the Ritter mini sweets. Voila! So that's how you make one with a flat bottom that can stand up. So I hope you've enjoyed today's tutorial and the variety of pillow boxes I showed you at the beginning of the video. Have a go. They make fabulous gift packaging for tiny little gifts. You could even put money in it. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back next week with more inspiration. All the links to the supplies are below this video in the show more section. You can also find me on Facebook, Pinterest and Instagram. If you want to read more about this, then hop over to my blog at stampwithelaine.com. The link is also below. Thanks for watching. Bye.